Whether we're talking about a self-audit or a self-evaluation, it takes courage, it takes discipline, but will have a massive and a profound improvement on your business or on your personal performance. So whether we're talking self-audit or self-evaluation, it will take courage because you've got to look in the mirror at your own performance. It takes discipline to keep doing it and keep checking, and it will lead to massive and profound improvements in your business and performance. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to JT in the Raw, show 171, coming to you live from my old school. This is our beautiful main oval where when I was 32 years ago playing cricket and playing rugby, great school, and we're up here because Zoe's got a thing she's got to do for when she comes here in a couple of years. So it's going to be an extra short JT in the Raw because I've got to get her up to do this little thing that we'll call an exam. But we won't call it an exam because then she'll get stressed out. So, good morning, everybody. Welcome to JT in the Raw, show 171, and we're going to talk today about self-auditing our processes. JT in the Raw comes to you same time every week where I chew the thin on business, and after 30 years in business, I have just a few thins to chew. A couple of shout outs. Big shout out first off to the Australian Technogym company. Technogym has already come on board as a sponsor for the Fitness Industry Technology Summit. Big shout out to them because we haven't even come out with the sponsorship packages yet, and they've already said they're going to sponsor. So thank you to the entire Technogym team. Also, big shout out to everybody in the Fitness Business Podcast family. We just hit 500,000, which for those who are unaware is 500,000 downloads. 500,000 downloads. So we're pretty stoked about that. So yeah, big shout out to the FBP family. Thanks for helping us hit those 500,000 downloads. If you've never listened to the Fitness Business Podcast, there's some really good shows, especially the one this week is a particularly good show. So this show has been inspired because I worked with a couple of clients this week, and we were talking about how the systems operate inside their business and what they're doing, particularly around their sales team, particularly around their recruitment practices. And we also talked about just the general member journey. And when I asked them, I said, okay, let's look at the sales process, for example. I said, when was the last time you had your salesperson just self-evaluate what they did in a sales process? And they said, oh, we've never done that. I said, well, how do you know where that weakness may or may not be in the sales process? Wasn't too sure about that. So then I asked another client when we're talking about the member journey, and I said to them, so tell me, where do you think the friction point is when a member joins, say in the first 4 weeks or first 6 weeks? And they didn't say anything. They said, well, we've never really analysed what that journey would look like. We wrote that journey, but we didn't evaluate or haven't really seen if it works or not. And I said, well, okay, well, maybe that's somewhere where we need to do. Good morning, Bradley. How are you, mate? Hope you're doing well. And then, the third thing is another client that I spoke to is about when they put a new team member on, and that new team member becoming, let's say, embraced in the culture of that business. And what does that look like? How are they orientating a new team member? And I said, have you ever evaluated that process and tried to identify if there are any weaknesses in that process? And so what we did in each of those 3 coaching sessions is we went through an evaluation process. And I said to them, the easiest thing for you, although thank you because I got paid to help with you on this, but the easiest thing for you is to self-evaluate this on a regular basis. Now I want to give a bit of an analogy or a metaphor around what I'm speaking about here. And if we think about the sales process, and it doesn't matter what business you're in, it doesn't matter what you're selling, I want you to imagine the sales process. And it goes like a baseball game or a softball game. Comes up to bat, you hit the ball. In order to make a home run, you must go to first base, second base, third base, and then home base. You must touch the bases. You can't just run there and go around them. You must touch the bases. So here's the interesting thing about a sales process, is that if you, for some reason, skip part of that process, just skip part of that process and still make the sale, you then begin to question whether you need to do the entire sales process. Then if you make a couple more sales with skipping that, you start to really question, do I actually need to go through every part of the sales process? Now, some people wonder if JTinTheRaw is actually live or whether it is a pre-recorded event. It is live because we have, coming past us right now, a tractor. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Mike. We're at the college. We are at, oh, there's Zoe's eye. We're just going to let the tractor go past. You'll see it go past in the background. About this sales process, it's this. When you skip a couple of steps and still make a sale, you question whether you need to do every step in the sales process. Then, when you stop making sales, you're saying, well, I'm following every step in the sales process. But unless you self-evaluate your performance, unless you analyze what you are actually doing and what bits you are missing, you cannot improve. And ladies and gentlemen, this doesn't matter whether we're talking about the sales process, the customer journey, orientation of new members or new customers. It doesn't matter whether we're talking about the orientation of new staff. If you do not self-evaluate your processes, you cannot identify if you are missing any steps. And more often than not, you blame something else. But I can assure you that it's probably the fact that you're missing a step. So for me, one of the biggest strengths of a leader is that they have the discipline and the courage to self-evaluate their business and self-evaluate their processes. Now, if you're not quite that ballsy, that's okay. Why not get a mystery shopper? Why not get a mystery shopper to come in and analyze that sales process for you? Now, if you're interested in mystery shopping and you're in the fitness industry, put MS in the comments below, MS, because it's one of the services that we offer at Active Management. So I'm happy to talk to you later about that. But the important thing is that mystery shopper evaluates the process for you. So if you're not confident on your team self-evaluating, then have an external person evaluate the process for you. So there's a couple of really interesting things that we need to be doing in business. We cannot rest on our laurels. We cannot assume that everything happens smoothly. We need to be evaluating those processes. If we have the courage and the discipline, we can do it as a self-evaluation, or we can bring an external person in. I'm a big fan of self-evaluation initially, and then we can bring an external person in secondarily to analyze the process to see if we can make it any better. Does that help? Does that help you guys get better? If it does, give me a love heart right now. And if you think you know anybody who could benefit from learning about self-auditing, please tag them in the comments below. And if you want to have a conversation with me more about how to self-audit, I've got a bunch of checklists that you can use in your business. Just put checklist in the comments below. We'll organise a time to chat offline. Checklist in the comments below, and I can happily have a conversation with you about how to put these together for you in your business. So that's the show. That is the show. Oh, Kim Beatson, good morning. Next week on Sunday, I head to the United States. I'm going to be in the United States for the next 2 weeks. So next week's show will be coming to you live from Orlando. And then the week after, it will be coming to you live from San Diego. So 2 more weeks overseas in the US. Zoe, put your fingers away. Two. So that's where I'm going to be next week. So I head off there to do 3 presentations at the Athletic Business Show in Orlando.
He's coming back.
Here come, or he might be coming back, the grass cutter. Ladies and gentlemen. Let me finish with quote of the week. Quote of the week is this. If you are serious about getting better, the best place to start is a self-audit. Turn the mirror on yourself. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you're too scared to do that and you need some help and you need someone to talk to about starting a self-audit process, put self-audit in the comments below. I'll reach out to you personally. And if you're interested in mystery shopping, if you're in the fitness industry, please put MS in the comments below and I'll reach out to you and we can have a conversation about getting that started for you before the end of the year. Easy to do. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been tuned to JTinTheRaw, show 171. Before I finish, one more time, quote of the week. If you're serious about getting better, the best place to start is a self-audit. Turn the mirror on yourself. Tune in next week, coming to you live from Orlando, and I will catch you on the flip side.